I'd love for you to get out your laptop and make sure you're prepared to run a few comps. If you, for some reason, do not have your laptop or a computer accessible, then you have homework. And I'd like to have you report back to me later today with what you find, so we can be on the same page with some of these things. So with that being said, we're going to jump right into it. Here is our first property. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk through this property with you, and then I'm going to show you the instructions, basically the sheet I put together, that walk you through step by step on how to pull comps. Okay, so this property over in Springville is actually my house. So you get to tell me what my house is worth. I'm super excited. You guys get to give me a property value update. With that being said, okay, so first things first, let's go over the instructions really quick. We'll come back to this here shortly. So you want to find the following details out about the property, things like the year built, square footage, acre, basically the specs, right? So we're going to start there. So we go back really quick. So I want you guys to tell me just by looking at this, what year was my home built? What's the square footage of my home? What's the bedroom bathroom count? And so on and so forth. Who's able to tell me?
I can.
Sweet.
So year built was 1997. Bedrooms, there's 5 bedrooms, 4 bath. There's 3 full baths and 1 half bath. And that's on a lot size of 0.23 acres.
You got it, man. Awesome. Okay, so by chiming in, who has the MLS open and is ready to pull some comps?
Mine is still loading. Sorry.
No, you're totally fine. Garrett, are you at a computer by chance?
Yeah, I'm logging on right now. I'm logging into the MLS.
Kaysen?
Yeah, I'm just logging on too.
Sweet. Kaylee?
I'm heading over to the office right now.
Okay, no worries. And then Cash, I know you said you're on your cell phone. I don't know if you have a computer handy. If not, I'll give you some homework. You can follow along for the time being.
I'll gladly take home.
Awesome. And then Carlos?
Mine's still loading. Sorry.
No worries, man. Just trying to get a head count so I know who's working on it. All right, once you guys are all logged in, we'll start this process. I'll walk you through it step by step. And I'm also going to quiz you along the way. For those who have pulled comps before, you're welcome to chime in. Let's try to use this as a group learning session and discuss the how and why of how we do things. So once you guys are all logged in, let me know and we'll get started. All right, we all good?
I'm logged in and ready.
Perfect. Okay, so everybody on your MLS, I want you to the top corner. You're going to top right corner where it says search MLS number. You're going to type in this MLS number. The MLS number is 1759503. Let me know when you're there.
Got it.
Perfect. What about the other people that had their computers? Let's get engaged, guys. Let's all talk. What's going on?
Can you repeat the number again?
Yes, 1759503. Cool. All right, so next thing, you're gonna, in the top right corner, hit new tabs. You're gonna duplicate your tab. And that way you have one tab open with the MLS sheet. And on your second new tab, you're gonna go to the search tool. You're gonna go to full, and I can just, honestly, I'll just do it on this other computer really quick. Hold on. For those of you who are following along, bear with me one second. Just waiting for this code. Come on. Oh my Lord. Sorry guys, technical difficulties. So for those of you following along, I'll keep walking you through it. So you go to the search tool on that new tab, and you're going to go to residential full search. Let me know when you're there. Okay, I was able to get in. So let's get a head count. Who's still following along?
I am.
I am.
Awesome. Okay, let me just finish getting myself caught up
Same.
again on the computer. 179.175.9503. Okay, so you should have two tabs open. You should have this tab with my listing or my property, excuse me. You should have another tab open with, you go to search, residential full. Okay, so we're here. So going through the steps on how to do a CMA, this is a document I put out for you guys on Trello. We're just going to quickly breeze over it. So you got to find the following information about the property out. So year built, again, 1997, square footage, it's like 2028, bedrooms 5, bathrooms 4, city, Springville, build type and style, try multi-level. So next step, we're at our search tool. You're going to select status. You're going to do under contract, backup, and sold. So you've got the 4 statuses. The reason we do those 4 is because active are properties that are currently available. Under contract and backup mean that they're under contract, so they're not exactly available. And then, that's kind of a way to temperature check what's currently on the market and potentially going to, be considered against your property, or that buyers in that price point have recently seen compared to your property. And then sold, that's a true comparable. Sold is really what you should use for comps, but I look at all 4 because I like to temperature check the market. The next thing, property type, you're going to select single family. Okay. And then we're going to go to style, and we're going to go to try multi-level. So I'm going to stop there for a second, make sure everybody's caught up.
I'm there.
Awesome. Jason, were you able to get there?
So I'm trying to get to your property. It's 1759503, right?
Yep.
Because it's not letting me go to it. It says I have a permission problem on it.
Are you signed into your agent MLS or just like a regular?
Oh
utility?
yeah, my agent MLS.
Utah doesn't allow people without having, basically if you're not an agent or not signed into an agent account, they don't let you look at sold properties because it's kind of like hidden data, if that makes sense.
Wait, it is my agent.
MLS.
Yeah.
You may have two accounts. You may have made one previously with your email, but you also should have one with your KW email that the office helped you set up. That one.
Oh, I got it. I just got it.
Perfect. So no sweat. I'll have you catch up really quick. So basic, I'm just going to talk you through it. I will jump on here and show you a little bit, but I don't want to do it for you. I'd like for you guys to kind of get creative here and discover, your own process. So your next step. So first things first, again, I'm going to reiterate, you pull up the MLS sheet, you make a duplicate tab, you go to search residential full on that second tab. You select the top 4 statuses, which are active, under contract, backup, and sold. And then you're going to specify what type of property it is, which is single family, and the style, which you can find all these things on the MLS sheet, but the style is try multi-level. Okay. Next, you're going to specify the year built. Actually, first things first, you want to put in the city. So I'm going to say Springville. And then I'm going to keep scrolling down. And you're going to look for where it says year built. It's probably, I don't know, halfway down your page. You're going to do a 10-year spread. So if my house was built in 1997, what would that look like?
It'd be 1987 and 2007.
Perfect. Yep. Great job, Cash. So 1987 over to 2007. Oops. Perfect. So when I'm there, and then square footage, if I wanted to go 500 above and 500 below of my square footage, what would that look like?
About 1,500 square foot and 2,500 square foot.
Let's do it. 1,500, 2,500. Okay. You have an option here to do bedroom count. I put it in the how-to because I wanted to give you guys kind of an indication that bedroom counts are worth looking into. But I'll be dead honest with you. The first time I run comps, because eventually you might go through and, become more specific, specify things a little further. Hi. So what we do, sorry,
I'm trying to get rid of you here.
you're good. Let's see. Right there, top right. Perfect. So normally you can look at the bedroom count as a factor, but I don't actually specify that until I've already pulled one list of comps. So normally in this situation, I've got year built, I've got square footage dialed in, yada, yada, yada. So I'm going to do 2 things really quick. I'm going to come back up to the top and I'm going to go number of days back, and I'm not going to go any further back than, 60 days. Okay, nice. So I didn't pull comps in this one before. I just picked a random property. There's nothing, right? So if I go back 60 days and there's nothing, what does that tell me? What's my next step?
Back further. 90 days. Okay.
Mhm. So let's try to go back 90 days. Let's see. So 90 days, still nothing. So what would be my next step? If I've gone 90 days back and I have nothing, an appraiser will normally go 120 days back. So we're going to try that out. And if this one doesn't work, we're going to move on to the next property because I didn't know there'd be no comps. I'm surprised.
Yeah.
Still nothing. Okay.
Wow.
Surprised by that.
Maybe it's the try multi-level?
Yeah. They're pretty common in Springville, but yeah, because if I remove that and I just say what's been sold in Springville in the last 120 days, only 20 houses. That's pretty crazy. 20 houses that match this criteria.
I mean, it's either that or you're just scaring off everybody from buying in your neighborhood.
Yeah, I guess so.
Facts.
My damn dog's barking. So let's try something. I'm gonna throw in try multi-level and then split entry by level. So that's okay, so I've got one or even a 2-story, right? Normally you would never do this. And if you guys are doing comps on your own, don't do this. I'm just walking you through it. When you become more experienced, you realize what floor plans are similar. Well, if I can't find a try multi-level, then my next best guess is to compare it to another type of floor plan that has multiple levels. So if I do that, well, damn, I got 11 now, right? So I'm just gonna peek into these. We're gonna see what we got. So when you pull up the list, one other thing too, excuse me, getting a little off track here. I always go to view map. I'll go to the radius tool, which is in the top left. You just click the little circle. You click the blue button that says set radius / location. And I normally will put in 1 mile of the address or MLS number. So I can get a little more specific. So in this case, again, 1759503, I think is what it was. We're going to set criteria. So your screen should look something like this. That narrowed us down to 3. So there's only been 3 in my, let's call it quote unquote neighborhood that have sold in the last 120 days that match this criteria. So if I want to take a peek at these, I've got this 2-story that sold for $516 back in June. And that one was 1,900 square feet, built in 1999, yada, yada, yada. Let's go through the photos. I always like to check them out, whatever, you get the idea. So I'll compare it to my house. So this one's more updated than my house is. Go ahead, Garrett.
How did you get to the map again? Where top left where?
So let me go back really quick. So if I'm on the search page, we've got view map right below matches, top left corner. So I'm going to click that. It's going to pull up this map. I'm then going to click this little circle tool right here. It's called the radius tool. Then I'm going to click this blue button. And I'm going to have radius in miles from the address or the MLS number. So then I'd hit set
Got the MLS number.
1759503. So Garrett, I'm going to quiz you really quick just to make sure the information's sticking. So let's pretend I'm having you restart. What's your first step?
It's the essential. Hold on, I'm pulling it up. You want the room count, the acreage, the year built. I know I'm brain farting another one.
No, you're totally fine, man.
The style, right? And the city.
Yep.
Oh, I feel like I'm missing something.
You're good, man. So if I said, hey, Garrett, here's an address, can you go pull comps on it? What do you got to do first?
Go search it. Search
Yep.
address.
So you're going to find the property. Then you're going to specify the details like you just talked about. And then what's my next step? So
Open a new tab, right?
yeah. So I mean, yeah, we could talk specific. So specifically, you're going to go on the Utah real estate. You're going to track down the property info. Then you're going to open up the search tool. And then what? Once I open up the search tool, what's the series of steps I have to walk through to?
Gotcha. So you're doing the status, you do the top 4.
Okay. What are those?
Active, under contract, backup, and sold.
Perfect. And then what's my next step there? I'm gonna look at what? So I know it's
The property type and style.
okay. And then I skipped a step. I did this one last, but there's a way you can search a certain period of time back. What's that called?
Oh, that's right. The sold date.
I do number of days back. You could do sold date, but I just type in, 120 days or I start with 60 days.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. Numbered days back in the date field. So yeah, 90 days back.
How many days back does an appraiser go? I mentioned it earlier.
You said 120, I believe, is what they
Right,
go back.
With the market the way it's going, what's the best practice? Is it worth going back 120 days if you can help it, or what's the best rule of thumb?
I don't
Yeah.
want to say that 60, was that what I heard?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Okay.
you're doing great. Okay, so now we've got the days back done. What's our next couple things we got to plug in before we can really verify what comps we have?
Let me roll down the year built. You did a
What's the-
5-year back and 5-year forward.
I do 10 myself. Other agents
Oh,
do
10.
5. I
Okay.
start with 10. I start with 10 because that's kind of rule of thumb, but also because then if I have to narrow it in, I can. But
Right.
I start wider and get more specific than start too narrow and have to slowly branch out, because then I can kind of funnel. But anyways, so we've got year built and you're gonna go a 10-year spread, like you said. Then we're
Right.
gonna look at what's the next step?
The square foot, you did 500 behind and then 500 ahead.
Yep, exactly.
And then you said you were saying the others are kind of optional, but better to fill them in than anything else, like the garage, the rooms, that kind of thing.
So in my first poll, I don't.
Okay.
But let's say I pull up 10 comps and I've got a 6-bedroom house I'm comparing other houses to, and there's a bunch of 3-bedroom houses that pop up. My
Mhm.
first bet is gonna be like, okay, let's go 4-bedroom plus. Okay, let's go, if I'm comparing it to a bunch of 1 bathrooms, but mine has 3, maybe let's go 2-bedroom bathroom minimum. I do that as I start to whittle myself down to a few specific comparables. I don't start with it because, as you saw, the criteria we had for this house, for my house, was pretty damn open. Like,
Yeah.
had nothing, right? So if you would have started out with those other things, then you're going back and being like, what's the variable I need to remove? Start with the basics, which is statuses, property style and type, days back, square footage, year built, and 9 times out of 10, you're going to end up in a pretty damn good spot. Then you start to specify things like specific bedroom count, basement finish, acreage, or internal condition or interior condition based on you visually looking at photos. Does it make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Awesome. You're doing great, man. So with that being said, what's up, Kaylee? With that being said, so we're going to do our best bet. Because again, if you had a seller ask you, if I approached you and I said, okay, I need you to go, Garrett, I need you to go look at my house and I need you to tell me what it's worth. And you're going, oh my gosh, man, I don't know, because there's only 3 comps. I have no idea. Your best bet would be to look at these properties that we've pulled up here. So like, okay, so here's a great example. I said 2-story and split level. Why did I do that?
Because they're similar to what you have.
Right, but look at what popped up in split entry by level. Is that a split entry by level home? No, that's a tri-multi. That's the same floor plan as my house.
Yeah.
So you can see that some agents are negligent and they don't pay
Make a
attention.
mistake. Yeah.
Right. Okay, so this isn't exactly like my house, but it's closer too as far as styling is concerned. So let's use this one as our main comp because it's the closest we found. So this one is active at 460, got 9 days on market. It doesn't, let's see, it's got 1,500 square feet. So it's 500 less square feet than mine, but it's 40 grand less. It's built a year newer than mine and it's a little less on acreage. 3-bed, 3 bath compared to 5-bed, 4-bath. So yeah, this one is pretty comparable. And this is what I'd use. If I was selling my own house, I'd have to take this one into consideration and be like, okay, how does mine actually stack up against this home? And realistically, what's a buyer going to think if they were to walk through this house compared to mine? Well, so far it's pretty freaking similar, to be honest with you. The difference between their house and my house is my house has 1 extra level going down. So this is pretty much just like my house. It's honestly pretty much identical.
So that's really good.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah, except for the, like I say,
You'll have to adjust for the bedrooms.
bedroom count, and then just like obviously visually going through it, I'm like, okay, there's certain things like,
Updated or whatever.
yeah, sorry, one sec, Cash is trying to jump back on here. So let's play pretend here. So I'm trying to sell my house right now and knowing the condition it's in, you guys could also, we could also pop up, why don't we do this? Let's do this. So let's look at my house really quick. So we're all familiar, and then we're gonna go back and look at this house. Here's my house.
Oh, it's nice. Your house is nice.
Thank you.
Dang, you're 23, dude.
Thanks. It's not my decorations though. So this is the room I was talking about because it's in the basement. Anyways.
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty cool.
Okay, so we looked at that one. Let's compare.
Do you have that hot tub and everything?
I got them to throw everything in. Yeah, I was tough.
Oh, those are current pictures?
Those are when they had the house. Mine, yeah.
Okay.
They did a better job taking care of the yard. They're, I don't know, they were like super
Well.
meticulous, but yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, so now let's go to this house. So now you've seen my house, so we're gonna go through. So theirs is still nice, but I'd say mine's more updated,
Right.
a little different styling. But you can see the floor plan wise, it's the same. So difference, mine has a walkout where that window is to a deck,
Right.
whereas theirs has just a window. Living room is very similar size and styling wise. They have an unfinished laundry room. That's one of the bedrooms downstairs, in the basement. There's upstairs bath, one of the other rooms upstairs, and you can even look at the photos. You can see there's no trim around the base of the
Oh, wow, yeah.
walls.
I was gonna say that was in the other bedroom too.
The basement, or is it? the
Yeah.
basement?
The
Yeah.
baseboard.
Yeah. Here's the upstairs bedroom, another upstairs bedroom, another upstairs bedroom. Same thing. This is the master, so you can see it's pretty similar styles as mine. And then garage, very similar. I like their freaking setup right there. That's badass.
Yeah, I want that bench.
Yeah, same. So a little different. They've got some RV parking, which is nice. Their backyard is flat, whereas mine is more like terraced. But outside of the, styling and bedroom count and everything else. So yeah, so if I was comparing my house to theirs, I'd say, okay, so I bought mine for 500 last year in August. There were a couple houses that sold. The last time I looked at comps, probably like 5 months ago, there were some houses like mine that had sold for like 540. Clearly the market's changed pretty substantially because this one's listed at 460 and it's been on the market in 9 days, whereas 6 months ago, this probably would have been a $490,000 house. So if I was looking at this, just trying to give a seller an idea, I'd say, hey, I know you bought your house for 500, and I know 6 months ago comps were saying 540, but really in today's market, you've got these things going for you. You've got a 2,400 square foot deck. That's pretty uncommon. That's expensive. So people are going to like that. People are going to like the unique styling, the fact it's got an extra bedroom, an extra bathroom, so on and so forth, corner lot, whatever. So if I were to list my house today, I probably would not list it for any more than like, honestly, like 515, because that's still $55,000 more, or what is that? Yeah, $55,000 more than what this house is listed for. And a perceived to buyer, they need to perceive that everything my house has is worth $55,000. Does it make sense?
Right.
And this one's been on the market already 9 days. So what does that tell you? That there's a strong chance that my house would not sell in a weekend. It might, because you might get the one person who loves it exactly as it is and wants to just jump all over it. But
And the extra bedroom.
yeah, it makes a difference for sure. But I'm making if I was talking to a seller, you always want to set their expectation based on not worst case scenario, but here's what could be potential reality. Here's what we're looking to do, right? So that's one of the properties that popped up on our comp list. And then let's look at this other property here. So this one, they have it listed as a 2-story, which, yeah, that's definitely a pretty interesting looking 2-story. Wow.
Yeah.
But anyways, this is your temperature check. So just going off of base prices alone, let's just talk that. Like,
That's the second story.
yeah, 528, it was listed at 595. was on the market 29 days. I don't know how or why, but someone bought it. So there you go.
And when was this?
This was just in June. Which even then, right? Like June was a while ago. Things have changed since then drastically, but you gotta do what you can. So we're gonna move on to the next property. I'd love to hear your guys' opinion though, based on what we found. Where would you price my house compared to the other one at 460? And why? Mhm. Sure.
It's all hypothetical.
Yeah, I don't use it that much. I need to use it more.
How aggressive you want to be?
That was my question.
No, and it's not about me. I'm asking you to tell me what my house is worth. And I want to know your thought process and why.
How do you want us to sell it?
Right, I mean, yeah, how motivated are you? I mean, that's what we
No,
would
so
ask.
This is.
Do you
this
want
is-
full price? Like you want all the money you can get for it, yeah? That's
Well,
515.
Yeah, I think as a seller, especially in Utah, everybody's cheap. No one that you talk to is gonna want to give it away, right? So, but
Right.
that's where I'm not gonna give you so much info because I'm trying to teach you that you have to. You can ask me questions, sure, but my point is, if I'm a seller or I'm your friend that texts you, hey, dude, can you give me an update on my property values? I'm kind of playing around with the idea of selling it.
Mm-hmm.
Assuming you're not meeting with them to list it, and they just ask you off the cuff based on this info, what's your response? I want to know where you'd price it, or at least a range, and why. And I want you to articulate to me what your thought process was to arrive to that conclusion, and what your thoughts were when you looked at the comparables compared to mine. Does it make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And again, I don't expect perfection. I just want to hear your best attempt, because then I can help you guys work through that, because this is going to happen to you. You're going to have a situation like this where you're like, how in the hell?
So just guessing right now, I would say between 500 and 515.
Okay.
And the reason being is the market right now and all the, because I've noticed just all the houses are down like 30 or, 40,000 or so. So that would be my best guess.
Perfect. Awesome. Who else wants to chime in?
I was thinking like 530, 550, but that's like. But I'm with everything sitting for so long. But all the stuff that I've been seeing, if it's like newly renovated on the inside, like those go for way higher, like you
True.
really get way more for,
The houses that are ready to sell will
Right.
sell.
yeah.
And with that extra, yeah.
Mhm.
So
Just all the
515,
updates.
and it depends on how long you want to keep it on market.
Yeah, for sure. Who else wants to chime in off of Zoom?
Realistically, I think I would say you could probably get 515 to 525, depending on how well marketed your house is.
Awesome. What made you think that?
Just, I mean, there's the extra bedroom plus the walkout. And I really think with the updates, if you wanted to be aggressive and you needed to sell it, you'd probably want to list somewhere around, 499 just to attract all those buyers under 500. But realistically, if you marketed the home really well, I think you could get between 515 and 525.
Awesome.
I guess it's 499 seems so like, even although I said 500, 499 seems like.
Sounds like shit to me, because I bought it for 500, but it is what it is.
Yeah,
Trades 2%, so I don't have to worry about it. I'm just gonna
right,
hold on to the thing for life, but.
exactly.
Well, cool.
Because really, it's a good rental also.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'll hang out at his house for a long time. It's a cool little place. All right. With that being said, let's move on. We got time for one more really quick. And this
Did you
one,
say you bought it for 500 or 550?
500.
That's awesome. I mean, because really, it's. And it was just, when was that, last year?
August, yep.
Did you do the renovation?
Yeah, thank God that wouldn't happen.
Oh,
Did you keep the deck outside?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
All right.
And I got her to throw in all the patio equipment and the,
Nice.
Woohoo. Way to go.
awesome. Yeah,
How far back did you go like for days, like,
120, but that was
Yeah, that-
excessive. Normally, especially in this market, 60 days max.
yeah.
But it's just because we couldn't find comps. Okay.
Well, what's funny is when I got my license in August 2019, geez, even to January or so, where I was at anyway, they were saying 180 days back. So, I mean, that just goes to show you, I mean, now we have to go a little bit further, but that
Mhm.
last year, 30 days or what,
Yep.
60 days were where it was at.
Yeah, in the last year or so, because things were moving so quickly, it was kind of one of those situations where it's like you could look back 30 days and see a $10,000, $15,000 difference. Now it's the opposite, where it's like, if I'd listed my house back in February, probably would have sold it for 550 with multiple offers, no problem.
Oh,
And-
yeah, and probably may have gotten like 580 to,
Right.
who knows?
But now I'm like, oh, nice, that's,
Yeah.
it's like the way it
But
goes.
but it really does go to show you that, the market, I mean, I feel like since I got my license, we've had almost 4 different markets.
Yeah,
Honestly, it's true, because you have like the ramp up period, bloodbath, slight slow, bloodbath, heavy slow.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, cool, we got one more, so let's bust this one out. On this one, I am not going to do it on the, I'm gonna do it on my laptop separately from what you guys can see, to encourage you to do it on your own, and then we're gonna talk about the results together. So you guys are gonna walk me through how to pull comps today. What do I gotta do? So what's my first step? I've got this property,
What's the MLS number?
MLS, sorry, let me pop this one back up and present, sorry. 1660680. Okay, so what's my first step, guys? I'm new to this. I don't know what I'm doing.
We're gonna put in, the MLS number, then we're gonna, bring that up, and then we're gonna, open a new tab.
Okay, so I pull up the MLS number, open up a new tab. Now what do I do?
The else answer me.
I don't care. Anybody can chime in. Karen's gonna take
We're
over
gonna
if you guys.
do, search.
Ambler.
Oh. We're gonna do a
Okay.
full search, yeah?
Yeah.
And,
So I'm at the search tool. I've got this property
we're
pulled up.
gonna, choose, I'm sorry, yeah, status. We're gonna choose status.
Which statuses should I choose?
We're active, under contract, sold and. Back up.
Back up, okay.
Another one? Four, those
Um,
4, right?
Yeah, why though? Why would I choose those 4? Isn't
Because-
a sold property only a comp? Why would I look at actives and under contracts?
Because that's what's selling right now,
Mhm.
and the backup is all.
What's the benefit of knowing what's on the market right now?
What the market is willing to sell or buy at this time. So what it's worth, you have to know what it's worth at this time.
Okay, awesome.
It-
Andrew,
It
what's my
also
next?
checks your competition.
Perfect. And why would that be
Yeah.
important to know before you go sit down with the seller? When they tell you, oh, my neighbor's house is listed at 690 and you're telling me I want to list it at 550? Or if, I don't know, 675, why? What's the benefit of knowing the insides and outs of their neighbor's house and how many days it's been on the market and how many times they've actually price dropped it? And it's really was never listed at 690, but their neighbor's full of shit and whatever, right? Why is it important to know those things?
That's what buyers look at. I mean, if you want to put your mindset when you're running comps to look at what a buyer's going to see. So you want to know what your competition is so that you don't seem different or weird and just, stand out completely. Does that make sense?
Perfect. Another thing too is set proper expectations for a seller. Okay, guys, so I'm at the search tool. I've got the 4 statuses pulled up. What's my next step?
Then, let's see, city. What is this city?
City.
That's when you go back to your other tab.
I'm gonna stop you real quick. We missed a step. So I've got active
Oh.
backup under contract sold. Garrett, what would I do after that?
I already got to the results. Hold on, go back.
Oh, right.
You do the single family style. And isn't
Style
it a
is the
rambler? Rambler?
Awesome. Okay, so I've got my style and property type down. Now what?
Scroll down, number of days back, 60, location is. What city is it? Riverton.
Okay,
So city,
Did you put in single family home, right?
Mhm.
Or does it matter?
Mhm.
Okay, I got city in, now what?
Hold on, I'm still scrolling for Riverton. I started back over.
If you type in that box, it'll pull it up. You can start typing.
Oh, okay. Riverton, scroll. Oh, year built, back to 1989 and up to 2009.
Why do we do that?
Go 10 years back, 10 years forward.
What's my next step?
Total square foot, 500 back, 500 forward, so 2,000 to 3,000 square foot.
Okay,
And we're not putting in the numbers on the first one. And that pulls up one result.
okay. I'm gonna chime in really quick. So I've got my statuses, style, location, square footage, year built. I have not put in bedroom count, basement, finish, garage count, nothing. And I've got 19 comparables. So what I'm gonna do is I gotta go to the map tool, go to the radius tool within the map. And what's the radius I usually set, guys? What's the distance I usually go here?
Mile?
Yeah,
1
1
mile.
mile.
1 mile.
Perfect. So if I narrow this down to 1 mile, I've now got 12 listings instead of 19. What's a few things I could do to narrow it down further if I wanted to? Anything that comes to mind?
How many days back did you go?
60.
I mean,
one?
you could go a tighter radius if you wanted to narrow it down. That'll give you more of a neighborhood view.
So I'm gonna encourage you guys to start with 1 mile.
This column and then
Right
this
side.
I got 13. What was the
Right.
question after that?
column.
So I'm at 12, you're at 13,
Okay,
which
how
is
does that-
normal. Like there's something different in our criteria, but that's okay. We'll work through it.
Yeah.
So I've got 12 comps. My next step, I've got a couple options. I can take the approach of hit view results, pop them all up. So I had to go back to 19. Hold on, my computer's being stupid.
So did you say you want to change the years back?
You're back, you go 10 years above and below.
Oh, but if you want to
Narrow it down.
narrow it down,
So first start with the radius. So you guys should have 12 comps. That's 12 to 13 between me and Garrett. Once I get those, I'm going to click view results first. And then I'm going to click on the top left corner. And I'm going to select all. It's loading, it's being slow.
I think it's on the wrong side, 76.
Click here. So Riverton, you don't have the
Thank you, I
square
see.
footage.
Oh, okay, and what is that?
Scroll down
Hold on.
to right. Right across from total square feet, you're gonna go to 2,000. And up to around 3,000. Okay. So one of the things, or one of the reasons we have 12 comps is because when you put in the radius,
I have 19.
19, yeah, now you gotta do the map. Left side. View map, right below matches, right here,
Oh, there it is.
right there. One of the reasons we have 12 or 13 is because the location this is in is right on the cusp of Riverton and Harriman. So I've got probably 6 comps from Harriman and another 6 from Riverton. Riverton is going to have a higher value most of the time. So, but it's still worth at least looking at, what's between the two. So what I would do in this situation is I'd click on the left-hand side, the little check box, and I would look at the view reports button and do agent full report. I'd start going through all of them. And I would look, and I'd look at the original MLS, so Shaggy Peak Drive or the 1660680, the property we're comparing. I'd look at the exterior styling, and I would try to find the houses that more closely match that. So if there's one that you see that's like, it's really not the same kind of build style, yeah, probably get rid of it then. Don't even worry about it, So I'm going to go through, and I'm already seeing a bunch that are really not even the same type of build. So like on one of my comps, I've got Dagger Wing Way. That's not even a very similar type Rambler, not even comparable styling at all. So I'm gonna remove that one. Even as I go through Blue Wing Way, it's somewhat comparable, but not really. I'll leave it for now, but I'm really trying to find ones that look just like this. So in this particular instance, let's go back to our search, and I'm gonna do two things. I'm gonna actually lower the gap for year built 5 years. So I'm gonna go down to 2005, or excuse me, 2004, and I'm gonna go up to 1990. What would that be? 4. And that drops me, okay, it dropped me to 11. Good Lord. Then I'm going to specify Riverton first in the cities. I still have, there's no way I still have 11. That's not true. How is that even possible? Yeah, it's just Utah real estate is a POS. There's not 11 for, good Lord. Sorry, guys, technical difficulties as per usual with
Live.
just this real estate. Yeah, it's not working for me. But Riverton, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 comps. Like Kaylee was saying, I'd be more inclined to start going through those to see what I can find. And even already, as I'm looking through, there's one that stands out to me. Let me go to the exterior view to make sure I'm not seeing this wrong. That one's active right now, 599. So I would just start picking through these and trying to find the ones that are more closely related to build style and quality. Just because that's your easiest way to identify. So as I'm going through, I'm finding a couple that stand out to me. If my freaking computer would load, man. Come on. Van Cott Peak Drive. That's one of my top. What was the other one? Ben Lomond Peak Drive. So there's 2. Let me look at this one really quick. Mount Ogden Peak Drive. There's a 3rd. And Van Cott Peak Circle. There's a 4th. And then lastly, I mean, that's really it. Those are my closest ones. Now I'm going to look through the other comps in Harriman, see if any stand out to me. Give me a second. Moon Shadow Drive. If you guys still have Harriman on your list, Moon Shadow Drive. That one's pretty similar. What else we got? Yeah, so I'm gonna start with those ones. I think I have 5 selected. So looking at these 5, are you guys following along still on Zoom? I don't know if you guys are. If not, let me know.
Yep.
Okay. So if I'm looking at these comps, I got Moon Shadow Drive. I'm gonna see if I can actually just pull these up on this computer now. Send these to myself. Okay. Bear with me a moment as I pull up.
Must love it. What radius did you do?
I did 1 mile. Okay, guys, sorry about that. Let me pull this up. So I've got my comps pulled up on the on Zoom. It's just loading. Bear with me. Okay, so I got my 5 comps pulled up right here. We're gonna just quickly jet through these together. And I want you guys to tell me what you think on pricing once we get done with this. So Moon Shadow Drive, let's walk through this one. So it's listed at 574. It was listed at 580. Days on market's 13, but cumulative days on market is 39, which leads me to believe, based on its list date, that it's been under contract and fell out. Oh, it's actually listed in July. They canceled it and then they relisted it. So it's really been on the market since July 22nd, so quite a while. At 574, it has a 50% finished basement at 2,500 square feet. I know this is kind of hard to see if you're in person. I don't know how bad it is on Zoom. Going through, we've got Van Cott Peak Circle. This one's sold for 560, was listed at 580. So we're kind of starting to see a trend there. Some price drops happening on the market 22 days cumulatively for 46 days, was listed originally July 14th, finally sold 2 days ago. That one has a 90% finished basement, 2,600 square feet. And just based on exterior styling is more closely related to one that we're talking about. This one right here sold 575, originally listed at 629, 100% finished basement. And let's just quickly go through the photos on this one. It's the trees in the front yard throw it off, but just having been through my client's house, it's pretty similar. A little different, but pretty similar. So let's move on. Pretty outdated. It's not incredibly updated. That one sold for, my Lord, I hate technology. 575. We've got a couple more really quick. Got this one here on Van Cott Peak Drive. This one sold for 518. Going through the photos again, more similar build style. It's not exact, but you know what I'm saying, that 90s style Rambler, basically, right? And then I would say this one's actually a worse floor plan. That one sold for 518, was listed at 550, was on the market for 48 days, quite a while. Last but not least, we've got this one at 599 right now, within the same neighborhood as my client's house. 1998, 95% finished basement. This thing is fully remodeled. So very nice, good finishes. Yep. So cosmetically upgraded, just knowing their floor plan, super similar. But what does this tell you? Okay, we've got get this guy on here for 49 days, it's dropped its price 30K. So knowing that, going back to our original listing, which I got to get the MLS number really quick. So I don't have it pulled up on here. So we're what, 1660680. What is going on? Get out of here. One six zero six. That's not it. What's the MLS, guys? Help me out.
1660680.
Cool. Oh, 199. Hold on. Good Lord. 1660680. Okay. So looking at this property, I know they updated it slightly since then, but 100% finished basement, 2,500 square feet. Outside looks pretty cute. Inside, new flooring, semi-updated kitchen. You know, decent. Not super updated. Basement's pretty outdated. I know they've gone through and updated most of it, but assuming it's in the same condition, comparing it to these other properties, I'd love to know where you guys would price this house. So we got active at 599, sold at 518.5, sold at 575, and sold at 560, active at 574.
And how many days back are they?
60 days.
So some are 60, some are closer.
Yeah, they're all within 60.
Because it's just so hard right now with the dates.
Yep, 100%. Garrett, what are you thinking, man? I'd love to hear your opinion.
I mean, 550 sounds like a good number, but I don't know, 540 sounded better to me when I first thought about it.
Okay. What gives you that impression? I'd love to hear your thought process here.
Just comparison of what we're looking at, rooms, quality, year, and square footage. Isn't
2,500.
Are they flipping this out? I mean, they didn't buy it that long ago. Free, 2020 they bought it.
My
Is that
clients, they bought it, yeah, April 2020.
Okay.
No, they live there as their primary place, but they might move to Texas.
Oh,
Okay, so 540 from Garrett. What do you think,
Yeah.
Kaylee? What'd you think of the comps compared to this one?
I think that like. I feel like it would be closer to the. Closer to like 550, 560.
And what was your reasoning?
Cause one of them. I'm trying to look at all of them one.
No, you're good. Take your time.
that first one, is it sold or was it active?
Active,
Okay. And it's listed for,
574. There's two actives, one
right,
at 574 and a fully remodeled at 599. That's still sitting, by the way.
and how close are the active ones?
To
Radius
wise,
I mean, as far as,
condition.
condition and.
The one at 599 is fully remodeled, or at least cosmetically remodeled. The one at 574 is, look at this real quick, fairly outdated. It's got new flooring in the last probably 10 years. Tile looks original, kitchen looks original, carpet looks original, bathroom original, some minor updates throughout.
Same square
Unfinished,
footage, or,
roughly yard a shot,
and bedrooms,
bedrooms 5.
and our subject property is
5.
So I'm not seeing the ones in Harriman. Where am
That's
I-
fine. We'll go off of these ones real quick. I pulled those because I didn't specify just I said 1 mile and there's Harriman and Riverton in that 1 mile.
Where do you put that in? That's the map.
View map, there's a little circle radius tool.
tool.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So even just going off of the Riverton ones alone, we've got this Riverton one at 560 that sold for 560. You've been signed out. All right.
Cause the Zoom is.
Yeah. We'll wrap this up really quick, guys. Long story short, my thought process, I would not encourage them to list it for more than 559 because you'd still be 15,000, 16,000 less than the other active that has a shot yard and is outdated. You'd be $30,000, $40,000 less than the fully remodeled one, and you'd be 1,000 under the most recent sold comp, but you'd look like a great deal compared to what's on the market. That's my general thoughts.
I was gonna say 550,
Mhm.
so 559.
So that's the general idea, guys. We might get kicked off this Zoom, so I'm just gonna hurry and go back to our team meeting slides. We'll wrap this up. Was that helpful? I know it was kind of a drag, but
Oh, that was really helpful. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
that was super helpful.
awesome. Glad to hear it, guys. Lessons learned. Let's kind of recap. What are a few takeaways you guys have?
A better way to do CMAs than the way I was doing it. That was my big lesson.
Awesome. What do you guys?
I didn't get the same as you, so I want to go back and look at the Zoom and figure out exactly,
What to do?
just practice.
Yep.
Yes.
Awesome.
I just think the specifics, I don't think I just needed a refresher.
Right. I totally get that. After a while, it's like.
Yeah.
It becomes so repetitive, but you'll get it down. So I talk about this every time, current mission. So I'm gonna simplify it. So for those of you who have not attended a group coaching session, you're gonna love it. This stuff is valuable. Don't get me wrong. Everything, is valuable, but group coaching is definitely you can ask Cash, you can talk to Tyler, you can talk to Cade, Lyric when he's come. That's definitely the highest value thing I offer, just because that's where we can actually get specific on, let me actually look at where you're at with things and help you know what you need to work on, and not work on like, do your case studies or pro you. No, like work on like, what do you need to do this week to go get a deal, right? Which is more important than anything else by default. So if you're not in group coaching, please come and see me. Let's make a plan to get you in as soon as possible. There's 4 requirements for group coaching. You just have to do your pro you videos, do your case studies, finish Ignite, and go to launch, which Ignite is the only thing that should take you that long. Everything else can be done in 1 to 2 weeks, no problem. So if you haven't done those things, just get them off your plate as soon as possible, because I'd love to get you into production sooner. And I promise you that showing up to group coaching, it'll start to click. And also, as you guys have seen, Tyler and Cash have made great progress. And I guess Tyler, Paige, and Cash have made great progress. Cade's making progress. He's got a couple in the pipeline. He's got 1 under contract and a listing right now. And even Lyric has done good as well. So my thought process is, if you'd like to get over that hump and make production regular for you, get into group coaching as soon as possible. So any questions on that, guys? Even if you're part-time in it, even if you're not in the office all the time, I don't care. You can join us on Zoom. Most people do, but it's a really great way to break down your goals. And again, I will help hold you accountable and know what you need to work on specifically. So any questions with that? Awesome. As we recruit new people to the team, and I work the next month or 2 to adjust some of our resources, update Pro U videos and different things like that, I'm going to start setting a hard expectation that new agents are writing offers within 3 weeks. So that sounds crazy, but it's totally doable, because most of the stuff that it's taken a lot of the students months and months and months to do is really like a 2-week ordeal. And I want to make that our standard or our average. The average agent does a deal within, gets a deal under contract within 30 to 45 days. Yeah, but with that being said, if I can help you guys with anything, let me know. Anything you guys need, any feedback you have for the program, I'm all ears. If you need help with something, if you'd like additional support with anything, if you think there's things that need to change with the program, you just let me know. Anything come to mind?
No, I think you're awesome. You know that.
Thanks. Anything I can help you guys with? Awesome. Well, enjoy the rest of your week. I will see you guys on Tuesday when we get back. We're going to go to the shift training here shortly. So if you need me, shoot me a text or give me a holler, but we'll definitely be in touch. No huddle tomorrow. Just a heads up. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for joining us today.
Later.
I've got 8 breakfast burritos and I can't eat any of them. So you guys are welcome to. And I'm also going to take them downstairs.